back to the Blockbuster. I'm joined with Charlie and Lucy again. How you doing?
I'm good.
Very good.
Fantastic. Glad to be back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss it so much.
Oh, obviously.
He's ready to talk about The Conjuring.
So
Sorry, that
ready.
wee whisper, was that wee bit scary? Aye, so today we're going to be talking about The Conjuring 2013 movie. Spoiler warning for anybody that's not seen it and going to be watching. Right, so pretty much we're just going to start with the thoughts and feelings on it. So we'll start with you, Lucy. There you go.
Well, my thoughts and feelings is I really liked Ed Warden's character, and I actually thought that in general the movie was really good, but his character was very blunt and knew what he wanted and what he would want for his wife. Like, he obviously didn't want his wife going back into the ghost tracking, whatever. Aye.
Aye, because she had a wee episode.
Aye,
But he needs to shave the big sideburns off.
Oh, I know.
So bad.
I actually hate
If
sideburns
it was
so
wearing
much.
a top like you'd fit into the film, man. You get the
Oh,
70s,
aye.
the 70s
Hang
one.
on, I get the sideburns.
What about you, Charlie?
Oh, I love the film.
Aye.
I'm quite big into horror, so it's I've always been quite into The Conjuring, especially the whole series. I quite like the second one.
The second one's my favourite,
Yeah.
man. I remember years ago, I know we're talking about the first one, but while we're on the topic of the second one, I mind my dad had the dodgy stick.
Oh,
Aye.
So it was when it was in the cinema or something, and it was just a mad horrible day outside, raining and that. My dad was in his bed, and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to stick The Conjuring 2 on. Sat and see the bit where she's the old guy in it, Bill.
mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
he's
aye.
it's a bit with the TV remote and that, and then he goes up behind her and screams like my house. Honestly, man, I jumped at my skin. I genuinely thought it was possessed for about 5 minutes, man. Honestly, I had goosebumps and that. I presented my dad. I was like, man, I don't feel right in that. I was like, I've watched this film and I've been possessed by mad Bill Wilkins. But so I've not actually seen any. I think it's only the first two I've seen. I tried to watch Annabelle, and I couldn't get into it. But I've heard Annabelle Creation and that's might be quite good.
I've not watched them yet.
Nah.
I know it's something that we should watch if we're
Aye,
quite
I
into
know
them,
it's. But there's a new one coming out next year, I think.
Oh.
A new Conjuring.
It's
Yeah.
it's just the fourth film of the Conjuring Conjuring series.
Aye, because I think I even the third one. I don't think I watched the third one because it wasn't directed by James Wan. But I think he's
Yeah.
back directing this one. So
I think this is the last one of that series, though.
aye, it's meant to be. Well, I mean, it's been about for 2013, so
Yeah.
12 year. But I actually on the original film, it was I'm a big fan of it as well. I like kind of the haunted house aspect and the 70s time period. I prefer that because there's minimal technology and stuff like that, which is I mean, in horror films, even everybody's got technology, it just kind of defeats the purpose. You know what I mean? So I feel that's why they were better back in the day. Also, kind of like the family element and stuff like that as well. Kind of close knit family. So there's some wee wholesome moments in the film as well as all the scares.
I know.
But what would you give it out of 10 then?
I'm gonna give it 9.
Yeah.
9? I
9.
think. Well, 999. Somebody phone the police. 9's all across the board. Aye, obviously James Wan as well. He's he was a big horror director as well. So, but we'll get on to that later on. So, right, we're gonna get into a couple of favourite scenes for the film. So, anybody want to start?
Yeah, I'll give my favourite out of my top 3.
He's 2 out of 3. Why not?
I'll give you the 2. Right. So
We'll give
my
you 2.
first favourite is when they're setting up the bells in the hallway, and Brad, the police officer's in the bathroom under the stairs, and they just all hear this bell go off in the toilet flushing, and they think, oh my God, we've got a demon. And then it's just Brad coming out and going, what? I had to go. And then after it, it happens again, and Brad goes, it wasn't me this time.
Aye, I know. I think you left a big demon in the toilet, man.
Oh, aye.
What about you, Charlie? What are your scenes?
One of my favourite scenes was, do you know when Lorraine was doing the laundry? The
Oh,
washing,
aye.
folding it up, and suddenly it's really windy, so you know something's about to happen. It's the sheet gets blown kind of also to Bathsheba, and you can see the outline of her, and then it flying up to the window, and you already know the mum's sleeping in there, so you're like, oh,
That
that's
thingy
gonna
as
happen.
well.
I liked how they done that.
That the thing about the window, I was reading up something. was something like the middle bedroom window was like apparently like in the house was like one of the hot spots for like all the kind of paranormal activity.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can call it paranormal because it was demonic, maybe, I don't know. But aye, so I thought that was kind of interesting how they'd done that as well. But one of my favourite scenes was like near the start of the film when they're like just moving into the house, and so the music comes on, time of the season, so it's obviously like showing you it's in the 70s and that, and it's like a tracking shot of like all the different people in the family walking round the actual house.
Whoa, watch out, Dad.
Where do you want it? That goes in the living room.
Hey, Andrea, where's my wind chime?
I think Nancy's got it in the other room.
Oh, thanks. Hey, Nancy, have you seen my wind chime? Yeah, thanks. Nancy, let's go. Come here.
And then it goes outside to let the dog, and Roger's trying to get the dog in. The dog's just like refusing to go into the house, which is like something in kind of like, see if your dog's like sitting barking at something.
Yeah.
And, do you know what I mean? You've seen it in the house sometimes. Your dog's just like
yeah.
looking at a corner barking, and you're like, mate, what are you seeing here? Do you know what I mean? I don't know if they can maybe sense something.
We see stuff that we can't.
Aye, probably, man.
Come on, Sadie. Sadie, let's go. Hey, come. What's the matter with you?
Any other scenes? One more each.
Yeah, I like the one where Ed and the other tech guy, I can't mind his name, were setting up the camera on like near the river to face it towards like the big old tree. And Roger goes, "You've actually caught things on this camera," as if like he doesn't believe him. And then Ed goes, "Yeah, that's kind of the point."
What's that thing do?
Well, when there's an instant drop in temperature, thermostat triggers a camera to take a picture.
So you caught things on film?
Well, yeah, that's the point.
No, it's good. They're cute. There is some like good like sense of like dry humour in that as well, especially for Ed. But I don't really like Roger, man. I think he's just kind of.
No, he's just there. I
be
don't
fair,
like Roger.
It's not really like. I like the family
He could just
aspect.
not be in it.
I like the family aspect, but like none of the family I'm actually like interested to see. It's more just kind of like the Warrens in it.
Yeah.
But whereas in the second film, like I like the family a bit
You
more.
get more invested in
Maybe
the
that's
family.
because it's a bit closer to home. It's in England and stuff like that, in it. So
Yeah.
I don't know though. But nah, I do. I like Big Ed. He's got a good sense of humour for somebody that's in that kind of situation, which apparently is kind of truthful. Apparently they were just like really normal and down to earth, the two of them.
Yeah.
What about you, Charlie? Another one?
I quite like, do you know when they'd finished setting up all the lights and like the girl that was sleepwalking ended up getting led
Yeah.
up the stairs and that's how they found the room. I quite liked how obviously the lights were going off and you just thought, what, like the guy was like, why can't I just wake her up? It's because wasn't her setting it off and that's where you kind of click. You're like this
Something's
is
guiding her up here or something like that, innit?
Like something big's gonna happen.
Ed, we're getting something.
Just Cindy.
No. Wait. We need this.
Why don't we need pictures of Cindy?
She didn't trigger it.
What do you mean she didn't trigger it?
Somebody's with her.
Another one for me was like in the room as well, where there was about 8 Waynes in it, so I can't remember every one of their names. But Joey King's character gets like, well, earlier on in the film, she's getting her foot kind of like tugged lightly, so it's a wee bit of foreshadowing, and she blames it on her sister Nancy, I think. And then they complain about that smell, like the rotten meat smell as well. But then later on, it goes back to same room. She gets a wee tug in her foot again, and she says, "Nancy, like, stop it." Next one, she just gets like yanked off the bed, and like she's like quivering with fear. The sister gets up and she's saying like it's right behind the door, like go and check it. And she like goes to check and she's like, "There's nothing here." She's like, "It's standing like right behind you," and then boom, the door just slams. Man, it was quite scary because like I feel like at some point in everybody's life, like whether it's like your feet will pop at the bottom of the covers or something, and you still get a wee bit kind of like, "Oh, I need to get my feet back in here." Do you know what I mean? Like I'd like everybody's had the thing like there's something at the bottom of my bed, or even like
turn your light off.
Oh, I know. Even last night, man, I was in bed and I woke up during the night and I thought somebody like got in next to me and I was just kind of hanging. And then I looked back, man.
That was pure creepy.
I looked back and I was like, man, I was like, oh no, nobody's there, man. I wasn't scared of it, and I must have just been half sleeping. It wasn't obviously. I mean, hopefully no anything for the Conjuring that's been dragged into my life.
See? Ugh, it's that smell again. Oh my God. It's standing right behind you.
So that, do you know what? I'm getting it one more scene. Why not? See the one with the wee kind of music box thing as well, and the wee lassie sent her mum like, oh, Rory's there. Like, do you want to see him? So she's doing it, and then you think Rory's going to pop out, and the wee lassie just jumps out and scares her. And then later on in the film, when she shows Lorraine the same thing, because she can actually like see into that kind of world, she sees the wee boy Rory, and you find out stuff about him, what's happened, and stuff like that. Aye, I think that'll do it for the favourite scenes, unless you've got another one you want to add.
No, that's it.
Nah. Right, so we're going to talk about what inspired the film now. So obviously we kind of touched on like Ed and Lorraine Warren. I think they were kind of like the first kind of like paranormal investigators, weren't they? Like first kind of like ghost hunters of their time. Obviously the family were the parents. Carolyn and Roger were the mum and dad. So Roger was away working, and Carolyn seen an ad in the paper about the house, and went to see it. And while Roger was away for 3 days, she's put a deposit down for the house. Obviously, without doing a wee background check, so kind of on you, Carolyn. And then, so the day they moved into the house, one of the kids said that they seen like a man like standing in the hall. So like right for the get go. I mean, they were there like, I don't know how long they were there, but right for the get go, I'd have been out of that house, man.
I know.
And the house.
Mind you, though, I used to think I could see like shadows of people in my gran's house when I was younger, but
Man, I don't know about that, man.
my gran growing up called her Mrs. Black.
Oh.
But it was just a shadow from like the railway post, I think.
That's still a bit sus.
Yeah.
I had thingy, my auntie, and that used to bar me up. They used to say Betty stayed up in the loft. She was going to get me in that. And she had, my auntie had this mad creepy. It wasn't even a creepy painting. It was just a painting of like some woman. But so like I used to stay at my auntie's with my dad.
Yeah.
Like when my mum and dad split up, we stayed at my auntie's for a bit. And to get to the toilet, I had to like walk through the room, down the stairs, past that painting, and I think I just held it in. Maybe.
No,
But
because
I'm no pissing the whole night because
was-
I'm not going past that painting, man. Honestly.
there was a painting in my gran and I know we're going a bit off topic here, but there was
cares,
a
mate? It's a
painting
podcast.
in my gran and granddad's hallway when I was younger. And it was one of these illusion ones. So like from one side it was like a really beautiful woman, and then on the other side it was this really scary monster.
Oof.
And I don't know why they had it up in their wall, but I couldn't, like, I actually wet myself when I was younger because I did not want to go up the stairs
No,
to
no
the
wonder, man.
toilet
It's
past it.
something so simple. When we're on topic, let's get into it, man. Any paranormal experiences? I've no personally, but I've had stuff where I've been a bit like. There's been stories and that. How you were saying about the what was it?
Yeah.
The black.
Mrs. Black.
Mrs. Black. Well, like so apparently, right? So when this kind of ties into the second film with the nun as well. It's not the same one, obviously, but so my ex-girlfriend, right? So she stayed in this kind of like renovated. Do you know where Notre Dame is in there?
Yeah,
So like in kind of the West End. So like a renovated like kind of church, and then so they moved in obviously. And our mum was saying to her friend, like, oh, you coming up to like see the new house and that? And she was like, oh, where is it you're staying? She said which was, and he's like, I'm not going up there. And she's like, how, what's up with that? And she's like, oh, it's haunted by like the black nun. Like it used to like, there used to be like a black nun that would go around the school and that and like haunt or like the
Oh my
church.
God.
And then so any time I was in there like by myself, for like the time we were together, man, any time I was in myself, I was always paranoid, man. I was like, this mad nun's going to get me and stuff like that. So. Sorry. So back to what inspired the film. Has anybody else got anything else to add?
Yeah, not Wes.
James Wan.
James, we cut that bit. James Wan based the film off of The Haunting.
Don't think I've seen it.
Do you know, I've not saw it either, but but when I was doing my research,
That's what you
it
seen.
was mentioned, and I thought, oh, that's a fun wee tidbit.
Oh, nice one, man. I seen Ed. Apparently, Ed Warren actually lived in a haunted house in Connecticut from ages 5 to 12. So and then he went to the Navy. But when he was out the Navy, he wanted to just see if people had similar experiences to him, as you would.
Aye.
And then Lorraine as well. She claimed she could see lights around people and like something to do with their energy from
Oh,
like the
like
age.
auras and
Aye,
stuff.
so from like the age of 7. So I think they were kind of a good match for each other, weren't they? So,
That was shown through the film like really well though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
aye, they were all lovey-dovey, weren't they? Especially like, that was kind of like the whole thing of the whole, for me, like idea of the film was like good memories and staying together to kind of fight evil and stuff like that. And a bit cliche, but it's kind of what happened. Obviously, as well, they would like how they would get into the houses, like like Ed was like a very good artist, and as you kind of see in the films and stuff as well, he's always drawn. And apparently he would like go outside the house and he would like sketch like a drawing of the house. He would get Lorraine to go and chat the door and say, "Oh, you're my husband, like drew this of your house," and hopefully they would let them in because she could like see like a haunted like kind of like spirit around it and stuff to like kind of help the family in need.
Oh wow.
So stuff like that, man. Obviously as well, going into about the house, there was, what was her name? Big Bathsheba.
Bathsheba Sherman.
That was it, man. She was claimed to be a witch or people said she was a witch or something like that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Apparently her Wayne get killed with like a sewing needle through the head. That's how the Wayne died.
Well, she burned her, like she sacrificed her child in the fireplace.
Like the movie.
I know, but I know that's in the movie, right?
But I don't know if it's like true.
That's what I'm saying.
I should have probably researched that.
No, in real life, that's like in real life. Apparently, like people like infants, like an infant like died in her presence, and I think there was something to do with like a sewing needle.
Yeah.
So like they kind of blamed her, but then also a funny thing, Carolyn said that like when she stayed in the house, she felt like a shooting, like a pain in her leg, as if somebody was like poking her with like a poking needle as well. So it was just kind of like added into the lore of that.
Yeah, she'd also said that she'd woke up like smelling like something quite bad, and then said that she did see like Bathsheba,
Oh man.
and like had put a curse on her, and then said next time like she'd like if they met she'd basically be dead.
I get a wee
like
goosebumps there, man.
But Caroline's basically said that she still feels like quite like threatened, so she'll never watch the film. So
You wouldn't, would you, man?
no, or ever go to the house again.
I mean, see if you were on like death's door. Oh no, but then I don't know. I'd maybe watch it, but like you wouldn't want to put yourself in like a situation where like maybe this thing can get back into my life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd never go back.
Oh
to
no,
the
I certainly
house.
would never go back to the house.
No,
Even watching a film might kind of.
that would trigger something. Yeah.
But
That's
you
a
know,
bit sus,
like
innit?
one of the funny things is that they lived in that house from like was it 1970 to 1980.
10 years.
10 years. Why would you stay in a haunted house for 10 years if you think it's haunted? I would be right out of there. Like even if I saw even a spider, I think those things are haunted,
Oh
right?
no, man.
Because they're not real. You can't tell me they're real. And if I saw one of them, I would burn the house down.
But the thing is, like, I see, like, with stuff like that, like, I don't know if I believe in all that, right? Like, but then I'm like, they wouldn't lie because it was in, like, 1970. They're not getting any financial gain. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, The Conjuring came out, like, 40 years after it, and they never knew they were going to, like, make a film about that. So, like, maybe they actually believed that was happening. Maybe it was actually happening. I'm not actually sure. That's kind of, like, the interesting thing. What do you think? Do you think it was? Do you think she was actually possessed by like a demon, or what do you think? I want to know.
Sorry. No.
In real life, what you saying?
I'd say something definitely probably did happen in the house.
Do you believe all that then, or ghosts and stuff
I'm
like
into
that?
that stuff.
Ghosts and demons and stuff like that.
I'm very agnostic, so I believe
Open
that
to the idea.
Yeah, I'm very open to the idea, and I believe that definitely something happened, but whether or not it was like demonic or paranormal, or if it was just neurological, like we'll never know.
I know, it's annoying, innit? Because I wish we had all the answers.
Yeah.
As well, like as we were saying earlier, like for your favourite scene where the thing goes up to the window, apparently like the middle bedroom window, they could always hear like a child like shouting "mummy" like all the time, which is probably the most like jailbait thing you can hear, innit? You don't really want to hear a child, seeing like a child laughing or something like that.
No, I don't know what is so creepy about children in horror movies, but
it's like the creepy laugh and like the running past door. It's like
no, it's absolutely jailbait, man. It's not for me. But as well, they met the neighbour. The real family met the neighbour, Mr. What was his name? Kenyan or something.
It was the Kenyans.
The Kenyans, and I think he was getting it a bit, wasn't he? He was saying something to them about keeping the lights on.
Yeah, no, he had said that like they'd always left like the lights on at like night. So like Mr. Kenyon had went over to Caroline and was like, why? Basically, why did you leave the lights on? But she said it was basically for like the safety of like the kids.
Oh, right.
It was like the sake of them. Which obviously, if your kids were terrified, I'd leave the lights on for them.
I know,
too.
but realistically, see if it's like a demon, what's a light going to do? Do you know what I mean? It's not as if he's going to see the light and go, I'm just going to leave this family. But
they leave the lights on.
Aye, so obviously, like, we kind of touched on what kind of inspired it. Ed and Lorraine Warren, like, they obviously done numerous cases. Like, I think they done Amityville as well. Obviously, in the second film, they touch on the Enfield poltergeist, which is one just down in England as well. So I think they were obviously well renowned and stuff like that. I hadn't heard of them before the film, but I probably had in passing and not clocked it. But I think
wouldn't have heard them.
no, I think they're a bit different to like the ghost hunters. Like, see the ones you see on the TV and that, and I'm like, man, come off it.
I love like just for the entertainment value. I love watching like the, you know, like on all these like TV channels at night. You've
the
got
reality
like
ones and that,
you've got like all the reality ones. There used to be one, I can't remember what broadcast channel it was on, but it was like something to do with like ghost hunters.
I think it was genuinely called Ghost Hunters.
I think it might have been just called Ghost Hunters, and I just, oh my god, I loved it. But it was just because it was so far-fetched.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Like, South Park parodied it, and they done like South Park parodied that exact show, and they were saying like, oh, I can feel like a hot liquid coming like down the front of my trousers. What is it? You know, that's the kind of stuff they hit out with. But so I think we've kind of touched on like what inspired the film and stuff. So we'll go on to a bit of like the general production of the film. So James Wan was like the only director offered the role. He's always like, he's kind of been interested in the Warrens and stuff. So he said that if there's ever like a film about that, like give me a call to whoever, like just let me know, and I'd be happy to work on it. Anything to say on the production of the film?
I mean, to actually get it like production started, it took nearly 14 years.
14 years.
Yeah, so he tried to like make a movie like for so long. Obviously, got no success. But he'd finally like landed a deal at like Golden Circle Films, and then the production company like The Haunted, like in Connecticut. But the connections just couldn't be finalised, so it just took ages for it to actually start filming.
Yeah, you find that with a lot of movies nowadays. Like, it actually takes years to get them into
like production.
The production stage.
Yeah.
Also, like, it took they had a budget of $20 million US, and they grossed that by $319 US.
They buy. So how much? Wait, say that again.
So they had a budget of $20 million US, and they grossed $319
million
billions. Yeah.
I thought you meant they only made $319 on top of it. That's why I was sort of what?
We'll just pretend that never happened.
I know, I was very, very, very shocked there, man.
Oh my god.
All the effort to.
All that it's just that morning energy.
All that.
Oh my god.
Can't even buy a PS5.
Can't speak today.
About like the kind of technical aspect of the filming. James Wan, like, he likes to create tension without like using bloods and guts. Like, he thinks the atmosphere's enough, and he thinks it's more about like where you put the camera. So like using spaces to kind of create tension. So like, who knows what's behind there, like the way he lights it and stuff like that. He also says he wants to put the audience in there, like with the character. So if a character's walking down a hallway, you're seeing it from the character's point of view. So it's as if it's you walking. You don't know what's in front or behind them. You're like right in there with them.
You don't often see that in like movies nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, they don't, because it's so tricky to do, like a POV shot.
He done it so well though.
And he done so many of them.
I think the first time you see it is when the mum's kind of walking down like the stairs of the basement, and like you're like, the way it's filmed, you're like, something's going to happen.
Definitely.
But like nothing happened. You're like, oh. So you're like always watching it.
There's a few in the film. The one where the dad as well, he hears the banging, and then the creaking door in the kitchen. Yeah. He goes in and the window's open, so like it kind of gives you a hang, and then it turns out it's his wee lassie up the stair, he'd button the cupboard, which is the cupboard that like Bathsheba kind of jumps off and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like claps from.
Yeah, that bit was pretty creepy. They also like he he believes that the sound design's like sounds more like vital to scares than the visual, because you can see something, but like if the sounds are cheesy and that, it's not going to be hangy. So like creepy sounds and stuff like that. The house was also a 2-story house. It was built inside a stage. It wasn't a real house. It was like a built house, which was pretty interesting.
It was completely different from the original house, though.
Aye, I know it is. Like the original house is kind of like long and stuff and narrow
like,
in it.
Yeah.
But that one was just kind of like a big kind of like. I kind of looked at the Amityville kind of thing, like the house. It was just like
it
was
looked so much like nicer.
Yeah,
like,
aye.
It looked more inviting.
Yeah.
It looks like you would want to buy it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
See the tree that Bathsheba was hanging from when Lorraine Warren got
The big
like,
one
that
in the
vision.
garden?
Yeah, like he was hanging. Bathsheba was hanging from. It was actually like the 50-foot tree was made by the production
So
team.
it wasn't a real tree.
So it wasn't a real tree. They made it.
I wonder
over
if they
the
had
course
one.
of production.
I wonder if there was a real. I can't mind this. I've seen photos in that house, but I wonder if there was a big tree like that, or if that.
I don't know if it was just tied to the
Because
effects.
that is kind of scary,
I
isn't
know
it?
there's like kind of like a graveyard outside the house.
I think that's which is
Yeah.
also like why
But
you staying
whilst we're on like the tree, you know the guy who played Bathsheba, he spent
there. The guy?
Yeah, it was a guy who played Bathsheba.
Was it?
Did you not know that?
No, they're not.
Oh well, it was a guy. His name's Joseph Bashara.
close.
He played Bathsheba, and he spent a whole day hanging from that tree just to get that hanging scene.
Oofed. James Wan must have a thing for that, because seeing in Cities as well, see like the bride, like they're dressed, that's a guy, like the creepy old woman, that's a guy as well.
Yeah.
As well, the doorways had to be placed in like an exact spot so that the scares would work due to like the framing of the hallways. And they had to be a certain length as well so that like things could come out.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we've got.
I know with kind of like preparing for like the roles, like Vera, that's
Vera.
Vera and Patrick. They'd actually went to Connecticut to visit Lorraine Warren,
Oh, did they?
which obviously that helped them get like their characters right.
Mhm.
I think that's what helped them get them like so spot on. I think.
I think she was quite a fan of the movie as well.
Yeah,
I think she said it was
she'd
pretty
visited
spot
a
on.
couple times.
Yeah.
She's actually in obviously the lecture hall. If
Yep.
you're watching.
No,
that,
on you go.
Yeah, like if you're watching the film, you just need to keep a lookout for it.
She's in the scene, isn't she? She's in
Yeah.
a wee Easter egg. I mean, you probably, if you don't know anything about them, you won't know who it is.
No,
but
yeah.
she's in one of the shots of the film. As well, like at the end scene, which that's where the film, like, it doesn't lose me. I still like it, but the end is like, I prefer just all the kind of
Lead up.
wee scares here and there. I don't like, see when she like goes like full possessed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like it's no my thing, like when there's like shotguns and that getting like
Yeah.
there's shotguns getting blasted and stuff. But James wanted her to be like muzzled, so like after she bites, is it Brad? Is that the police guy's name?
Yeah.
After she bites him, they put the sheet over her head,
Yeah.
and then it has like quite a nice visual, quite a scary visual when she's like coughing up the blood, but like
Yeah.
underneath it. So
Yeah.
And then Bathsheba comes out as well. That was a good effect.
aye,
Yeah.
Oh, oh, sorry, my voice. Did you know, like, see when they were doing like the special effects makeup for her, like on the lead up
Yeah,
to
yeah.
her getting possessed, they actually like they put contacts in it first. Like they done it throughout the whole film. They done just contacts for the first like bit of her like actually
Transformation.
her transformation, and then they just added little by little every scene
aye,
that she was in just to make it more and more
aye. So it's like a kind of slow
gradual.
possession kind of
Yeah.
thing. Oh, that's quite cool. Also, I seen the film was shot on digital using Arri Alexa camera and a Leitz Sumilux C series lenses. So there we go. That's just a wee thing of what the film
Well,
was shot
if
like.
we're getting technical, they used a special type of lighting called low key lighting,
Oh, nice one.
which kind of like you dim the key light that's in front. So you've got obviously your key light here, your fill light, and you've got your backlight. So you've got the key light is dimmed whilst your fill lights and your backlights are full force, and that just helps like to create an emphasis on.
The shadows.
Yeah, on the lighting, on the shadows, and it helps create a sense of alienation between
nice
the
one.
viewers and you. That's why when you're watching a horror film, a lot of horror films use it, but that's why when you're watching horror films, it looks like it looks eerie.
I think with that added with all of his like use of like wanting it to be like
Yeah,
it just brings it all together.
That makes for a good viewing. Right, so we're going to just touch on the launch and the careers quickly. So obviously James Wan, already a well-established director, directed the likes of Saw, Insidious, and now The Conjuring. So he's kind of like got like lots of like famous horror franchises already. You were wanting to talk about one of the actresses.
Yeah, Joey King. She was one of the kids, like the girl who got her
I
foot
pulled her
dragged,
to bed. Yeah, I can't remember her name, but I know who you're talking about.
I know it wasn't like her first film, but I know she's quite big now. Obviously, she's in the Kissing Booths.
I've actually seen them, embarrassingly enough.
And then also Bullet Train. I think that's the most recent one she did.
Aye, that was good. I like that.
I know she was also in Act,
I've not
which is
seen
about the girl that just got out of prison.
I have no idea.
Oh,
Gypsy Rose,
Gypsy
that's her name.
Rose, uh-huh.
That was
Don't know
based
who that
on
is.
her. Oh my god. Oh.
Nah, is it good?
Nah,
It's alright.
It's alright, but yeah.
So what came after the film? Obviously, we've got the spin-offs and the sequels.
Yeah.
So there's quite a few of them.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
got Annabelle that came after. You've got The Conjuring 2, Annabelle Creation, The Nun, The Curse of La Lorna, or
Lorana or whatever. Aye.
Annabelle Comes Home, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, Nun 2, and then there's a fourth film to release in September of 2025.
Nice one. I seen the franchise has grossed over 2.2 billion with a combined budget of 208 million. So I think that's like the highest grossing horror franchise, but it's received mixed reviews. Some of like the films have been better than others and stuff like that. Haven't they? Obviously, as well, about the actual Conjuring house. It's like can you go and visit or something you were saying?
Yeah.
You can go see it. Like a lot of like YouTubers, for example, Sam and Colby.
Yep.
I'm quite into like watching them.
Aye.
So they've went a couple times, but I know it's quite big for like paranormal investigators going to see.
Yeah.
So like you could just go see the house.
Aye, you need to sign a waiver before you
Yeah,
go in there.
uh-huh.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
So as you were saying, Sam and Colby, I'd done a bit of research. They've made 7 videos on the Conjuring House, and they've amassed over 110 million views, which is quite
I
something.
think last year around about Halloween they done
The 4-part series or something. Yeah, I watched.
They spent a whole week there.
Aye,
Yeah.
I watched it. Some of it was better than others.
Yeah.
But also as well, Easter eggs. We were talking about just Lorraine Warren being in the hall and stuff as well. So any other Easter eggs?
No, just apart from like the cross and the end credits flipping upside down, and the office sign that they use like to be like, oh, come here. It's actually the real one they used in real life. So
But the office sign and
outside their building, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't actually know that.
That's about it.
So I think that kind of wraps us up then, doesn't it? Unless
Yeah,
we've
it
got anything
does,
else
yeah.
to add. So, right, well, thanks for watching, everybody. If you've not seen it, get to see it. 9 out of 10 across the board, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.